Hey, what's up? How's it going? It's the boy Don Soyce in the morning or the evening, depending on where you are right now. And today I'm coming at you with What If Minato and Kushina Survived? Part 0. Part 0 is because I'm pretty much going to be going over the background information in its own video because I thought it was like more than I would want to, put in like a regular video because it'd be kind of like a lot of exposition. And then I'm just going to like probably like get a part 1 tomorrow, like in 2 days. But part one's gonna be coming out soon when I get to writing that, and I'm gonna try to finish that today and get part 1 out tomorrow. So be expecting that. Anyway, let's get right into. Oh, just so you know, I'm gonna be keeping just the thumbnail. It's gonna be the one picture because it's part 0. So yeah. Anyway, let's get right into it. Alright, so the way both Minato and Kushina survive isn't going to be something like just plot, like, well, yeah, because plot, yeah, they survive, which I probably could do, but I'm not going to. And I'm not going to have it, so I'm also not going to, like, make Uzumaki, like, vitality, so that they could completely survive, like, the extraction of a tailed beast. Because, as you know, Uzumakis can, like, live a little bit after, they don't instantly die after they get a tailed beast extracted from them, which how most people would, they just instantly die. But anyway, that's not how I'm going to do it. So to make this work, I do have to do some continuity changing. And how it starts is Nagato. See here, Nagato's village would still be ravaged by war, but him and his parents would be able to escape their village with their lives. The three would become beggars and eventually would meet Chibi the dog, and then Konan and Yahiko. They would all travel together, and then they'd eventually come across the battle of the Three Sannin versus Hanzo the Salamander. And Chibi, like in the original, would get caught in the crossfires and die. Since Chibi was like a member of the family, along with the fact that he lost him to war, and really the war in general, all these factors combining would just make Nagato lose it, and he'd awaken his Rinnegan, which he wouldn't have earlier because his parents didn't die, and that's what originally caused him to awaken it. But here it's going to be all these factors, and then Chibi dying would just be the straw that breaks him. So he'd awaken his Rinnegan, and then when he did, he would accidentally use his almighty push on Hanzo. This would give the Sannin the window of opportunity that they needed, and they took it, and they killed Hanzo. Jiraiya then decided that that kid with the weird eyes had lots of potential, but also thought that he could train everyone else there, thinking that they would all need to be able to defend themselves, and that he'd take them to the Leaf as soon as they could. After a while, the group was able to survive the war, and the refugees settled in the Hidden Leaf. So now we're going to skip ahead a few years. In the Jinchuriki before Kushina died, Kushina was supposed to be the one to have the Nine Tails sealed into her, but she would have been gone on a mission that was taking multiple days. But the Leaf needed a new Jinchuriki, so Nagato's mom volunteered to become one, saying that since she was an Uzumaki, she can handle it. So the Nine Tails would get sealed into her, and the attack on the Leaf would not go by. It wouldn't be that Obito would make his move when the seal was weak due to pregnancy, but he'd just straight up kill her. He'd outright kill Nagato's mom. The Nine Tails would still run rampant, and Minato would fend it off, but he would know that he would need to seal into a new host. That was the only way to stop the Nine Tails. He then got an idea. He then teleported to Nagato and told him that he needed his help. Nagato having become a Leaf Ninja and have trained his Rinnegan by now. He'd then go to the hospital and take Naruto with him. The three would teleport in front of the Nine Tails, and Nagato would use the Uzumaki chains that he would have learned from Kushina, and with it being held down, Minato would seal half the Nine Tails into him, and the other half into Naruto. Nagato's dad also would have become a Leaf Shinobi, and Nagato himself would have kept training with Jiraiya, Kushina, because she's also an Uzumaki, and he'd also be training with Minato. He'd be taught like Rasengan, the summoning, seals, and a bunch of different jutsu, since with the Rinnegan he has all chakra natures, so Nagato's pretty well off. He's gonna get stacked. He's the powerful Nagato is even gonna become more powerful. Shout out Anime X, like anyway, he'd be close with the Uzumaki family, or rather like the Namikaze family, as Minato would train him to be his successor as Fifth Hokage. Um, this would be because he's like the most powerful and like one of the most prominent young shinobi on the up and coming, really. But anyway, Conan and Yahiko would both also become Jonin, and the two would have wound up getting together and having a kid, a boy named Kai. Yahiko would have become a sensei, and Conan would be in the Hokage's personal Anbu. Minato still being alive, he still would have been able to gain Kurama mode, and with hard work and plenty of delegation, Minato was able to calm down the Uchiha insurrection. And the way he does is by giving a show of faith, and that's by giving them the Seven Tails. He's able to get the Seven Tails by absorbing the hidden waterfall, and he was able to do it because it was a pretty low level and basically kind of weak village. That's how he convinced them to join. So Fugaku would have actually appreciated the gesture, and since the Uchiha were being given such a high-tailed count beast, sure, the high-tailed count beast, because it's got seven tails. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, this would strengthen the bond the Uchiha had with the leaf, and having felt this would be because they felt like they were actually trusted, because they would actually be in their own tailed beasts. Anyway, Fugaku, as the head of the Uchiha, would have been able to decide who would become the Jinchuriki, and he wanted to be Itachi because Itachi's Itachi. But Itachi, however, would have denied it, and he actually suggested that they train Sasuke, and when the time is right, they make him the Jinchuriki. Speaking of Itachi, he'd also be assigned as one of Minato's personal Anbu, which I guess would actually also kind of help strengthen the relationship with the Uchiha and the Leaf. Anyway, Fugaku actually thought it made sense to seal the Seven Tails into Sasuke, thinking that they could train him well, and also thinking it was a good way to contest with Minato, having put the Nine Tails into his son. With that, Sasuke would be trained, and he would eventually be turned into the Seven Tails Jinchuriki. And with that, I think I pretty much have covered the stuff I want to cover. I might have missed something, but if I did, oh yeah, so yeah, Kushina is still alive. I don't think I really missed anything, but yeah, I'm gonna be going over how this kind of affects Naruto. I'm actually gonna be getting into the Naruto story next episode. Honestly, right now, I'm just trying to think of anything I missed. Oh, Kakashi. Kakashi would pretty much still be the same, except he would actually be happier. He'd be a little less emo. I mean, his best friend and his friends still die, but he'd be a little happier, and he'd also be close with the Namikaze family. And Naruto would go by Namikaze, but he'd be closer with the Namikaze family, and Naruto would kind of see him as like Uncle Kakashi. And I think with that, I pretty much got everything I wanted to go over in this. So with that, see you later. This is Don Soy Sourcing out. Tune back in tomorrow with episode 1.